Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name's Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are good
That's
bookies.
right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yeah, yeah.
What's going on? As you guys know, we come from Toronto, Canada, recording here, talking about the hottest in sports and culture. And this week, guys, it's no different. I hope everyone's been enjoying the March Madness. The Final Fours have been decided, and I'm sure there's been a lot of good basketball for him this month. March has been a month of great basketball. We know in the NBA, every game matters. NCAA, every game matter. But on top of that, we also have basketball in Canada. So big up the NBLC and also big up the U Sports champions. They were crowned in March as well. They actually had Fahim their U Sports Final Eights wrapped up in March. And historically, the men's and women's have the same school, same program, won Fahim. This hasn't
Woo!
happened since 1985 that both men's and women's are national champions or claimed national champions. So big up to the Carlton Ravens crowned men's and women's youth sports champions. Big up to them. If you're running, for those who are running the basketball program there, kudos to y'all. Both teams fought for him. It wasn't no easy wins, but they got it done. And I'm sure Carlton is all the way up that their men's and women's team have won this year. So big up to
Wow.
those guys.
So I'm just wondering if because that's kind of dominance, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's the
When
first
you
time since 1985. So
80, yeah, 85. Wow.
yep.
Shout out, most def. Um,
Yeah.
so since we're talking basketball, do you want to keep it on Dame's comment, which I found very interesting?
hmm
You brought to my attention about Dame and his how he's not happy with how the NBA is being, uh, I guess, in this ring culture. Very great topic to discuss because I feel we're all guilty of it in some way. Um, the rings seem to pop into conversations sometimes to maybe checkmate a conversation. Oh, how much rings does he have? Or anyone who doesn't have a ring, even down into a different angle, maybe chasing the ring. The ring always seems to be kind of seeping into conversations. Maybe if you can give some context in regards to what Dame mentioned in regards to the rings, and we can go from there.
Yeah. I mean, he quoted saying the NBA I played in now is not the NBA I came into, right? He also mentioned, I think about it all the time, that I don't know if I can play it a long, long time because I don't enjoy what the NBA as a whole is becoming. And it's true, right? The ring culture is very toxic. Um, who do we blame for that? I know someone who, again, I'm a fan of his, but the ring culture, began when he decided to go to South Beach, right? And from then on,
Can I stop you for a second? Do you think it started
no, I
with him?
don't, but I'm
Oh,
saying
okay,
modern day. Yeah. Like, I don't think it
okay,
started with him. I think as a whole, players always wanted to win. We've seen players for him. Typically, what was the best practice back in the day, I believe, was that you would play in a team, right? The team, remember back then, teams would trade you without you having the rights or the power, right? So that's a different thing as well. But normally, when you had or built up a career, you can then say, okay, trade me to this team. So we know the Gary Paytons, the Steve Nashes, Charles Barkley's. We know guys who went to teams at an elder age, right, Fahim? They weren't the
hmm
same that guy, but they went to teams to try to win a ring, right? That was the ring culture before, right? We can agree to that. And
right,
then when someone went to the South Beach at a very young age, I don't
right,
think he was the
okay,
first one because even I'm trying to remember the Boston team, like when those guys went to that team,
yeah.
I
If
don't
they were
think
pretty much in their prime, we're talking Ray
they were in their
Allen, we're
prime, yeah.
talking
But when they went to the
G,
team, I don't know if they
Garnett.
all orchestrated to go there together or if it
Mhm,
was the GM, you know what I mean? Like the GM working his way, probably to
mhm.
both. But I'm just thinking like the biggest, like, so that's also influential. When they did that, that made a big, obviously people had to change their ways. So all I'm saying is that I don't think it's, LeBron's fault, but I do think that we started seeing players like begin, I would say in the early 2000s, go to teams to try to win a championship, right? And that has now become modern day NBA, where now it's like fans. And I don't think it's the players. I think it's the players too. I think players always want to win for him. I don't think that's changed. I think fans now, it's legit the whole, and I'm gonna have also a blame him as well as an MJ fan. Michael Jordan fans, love y'all. I'm an MJ fan too, but y'all started this shit. I'm sorry, Faheem. They started it because they would always say, well, MJ has 6 rings. 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 In every debate, MJ has 6 rings. Well, guess what now? Now we have players who now their goal is to beat MJ 6 rings for him. So it's a bit of both. I just can't blame LeBron alone or the players of the past. Like, I'm not gonna blame them alone and blame Kevin Durant and these guys who have jumped from team to team. They're also contributing. And I think Giannis, Dame, quite a few guys, DeMar are not like that. Maybe a few guys that are like that. Kyrie, he tried, he failed, right? He's not hasn't been successful with it. But I just think that the whole ring debate and the fact that you have to pass the guys of the past to become a great one, I think we have to dissociate and saying, yes, you can win rings, but is greatness are you great because of your rings, or are you great despite of your ring? I just think that that's the conversation. Whereas I believe casual fans who don't really watch the game as much as the ones who are in the game, they're always the argument's always ring culture, because we have a lot more casual basketball fans than ever before. Like, it's crazy,
Yeah.
right? They don't watch basketball at all, Fahim, until the playoffs. Like,
Right.
nothing until maybe June, and then they only watch at that time, and that's when they define rings and stuff like that. So it's a mixture. I blame fans, I blame players, I also blame the culture of the NBA, right? You know what I mean? But it's not just one issue. But what's your thoughts, Fahim, on him not being happy? And it could be because he's in Portland and they're not really winning a lot of games. But you go ahead, Fahim. What's your thoughts on Dame's comments?
Well, first, I like your take, actually, what you mentioned in regards to MJ starting this. Not even, I wouldn't say him personally,
No, it
but
wasn't
just
him. No.
his being of the rings. Because you're right, he is at the top of the ladder. Everyone wants to be MJ. He's a standard, and you're right. Everybody always goes to MJ's rings and everything. Even when I hear that, though, if that's kind of taken out of context, because we know Bill Russell won more rings. So, once you throw in, okay, well, if we're talking rings, what about Bill Russell?
Agreed.
Which should actually end the conversation in regards to rings. There always seems to be an out. So that's a very good point that you brought there. I do think that as fans, people do use that as kind of a trump card when it comes to MJ, because you can't, what he's done in regards to his rings, you can't get past that. So that almost kills the conversation almost. Very good point. I just think with Dame, this is actually kind of a testament, and I think it's a great conversation to have, because Dame is almost a poster child of, it's almost like he's from a different era. He's now, but it's almost like he's cut from a cloth of like the 80s or the past, where players are, like you mentioned with LeBron, making it to where people went from wanting to compete to now want to cooperate or collaborate. You know what I'm saying? Dame, I'm actually surprised with the options of who he is in the league, that he hasn't fallen into that trap of, oh, you know what, feeling the pressure of rings. I have that a lot of respect for somebody who can actually go against the grain. I'm pretty sure if you're a Dame Lillard fan, you want to see him get a ring. But I genuinely feel that Dame, he's confident and comfortable if he ends his career with no rings, by the play that and what the legacy he's left behind, right? There's been a lot of players who haven't won rings who still have a very good legacy. Charles
Yeah.
Barkley never won a ring. Patrick Ewing never won a ring. A
But
lot
Charles
of
get clowned all the time for not winning rings. That's what I'm
right.
saying. Like the ring culture, when you win a ring and
Hmm.
someone doesn't, you kind of like don't even respect their thoughts on, you know, because they didn't win a championship. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I think that's something that Dame was saying is that and not it's not just like fans, like fellow NBA players. When a fellow NBA players won a championship, like trust me, if Steve Nash won a championship, would people disrespect him as much as they've done, right? Acting like he wasn't that good. If that team won, right, Faheem, that Phoenix team that was number 1 in the league, would they have talked to him like that? You know what I'm saying?
But do you
Like,
think that Steve Nash is getting shade or disrespect? Because I don't think so.
no,
I think
I
as a
feel like,
coach, yet,
for
as a
example,
player,
like
no.
for an MVP player, like, and
Two-time
again,
MVP, right? Back to back.
back-to-back MVP. And again, it's the second one is controversial. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that like people don't even, you know what I mean? You ask for someone for a top 5 point guards, no one mentions Steve Nash. He's a back-to-back point guard MVP like Steph
Mm-hmm.
Curry. You know what I'm saying? And Steph has 4 rings, but sometimes don't even mention him because he won a couple with, with Kevin Durant. And
Mm-hmm.
then so I just think like Dame Lillard's like gripe, and I agree with him, is that people downplay the importance of the regular season. Like we know about this for him, and maybe we'll talk about this, but DeMar DeRozan, a guy that we both adore, admired here, his
Mm-hmm.
issue was playing in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
But he's never been called a superstar. Why? Because he has not been able to perform when the pressure was up. But we can't negate what he does in the regular season, right? And that's why till this day, this guy's still an all-star. He's been an all-star for him. I don't know how many all-star nods he's had, but he's always been an all-star. Coaches respect him, players love him. And I just think that a lot of times, players have begun to downplay regular season, which is now we're in March for him. And these teams are trying to fight up to win in the playoffs because they were procrastinating all year long, a la Toronto Raptors, right? So it's like this thing where Dame is like, yes, I want to win a championship. We all play for championships, but we're acting like nothing else matters. Like the journey to get there doesn't matter. And we forget Faheem. MJ lost what 7 to 8 times before he won a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like how many teams do we know Faheem would wait 8 years before they win a ring? 8 years for him. Remember, MJ played 4 years of college, then had 8 years before he won a first championship. Like, do
Mm-hmm.
we have that kind of patience today in modern day NBA? I don't think so at
Mm-hmm.
all. Guys are quick to jump ship. If within the first 3 years of their career, 4 years of the career, that team's not doing well. Not all guys, of course. This is obviously not every player, but the really great ones, the really good guys, like right now, Luka not having fun. Is it because he hasn't won a ring yet? Because he hasn't won a championship yet? Does he know that it takes time to get there for him, right? Luka's young. So what why are players impatient? Why are fans impatient? Like what has changed? The culture has changed. And it's not just one guy. I think everyone just wants to up each other at the fastest or quickest way. And I think our society reflects that. Like no one, for example, we want to eat now for him, we order Uber Eats or cook, right? Cook, you know what I'm saying? Cooking is not cook. No, I'm gonna order food. Like it's way easier. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're in this way, we're this impatient, impulsive, must have now type mindset, but sports was never like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The NFL, in the NFL, we have the most patience in the NFL, right? Baseball, we have to wait. We know we have to wait a long time. But in basketball, it's like no, immediate, immediate, immediate. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why is it? Why is it like that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. He just brought up food. Uh, Same with the microwave. Microwave had this convenience. But before the microwave, you had to heat it up over the stove, and then eat it. Now microwave, I do. I guess just a pulse of the time. But what you were mentioning about DeMar, I want to put some respect on DeMar's name. DeMar, because you're asking about his All Stars. He's a 6-time All Star,
Mm,
2-time third team, and 1-time second team.
wow. So three All NBA
So,
teams.
you know, there's got to be a place, in the Hall of Fame for DeMar DeRozan. And as I say that, with Dame, Dame is a 7-time All Star, 1-time first team, 4-time second team, and a 1-time third team, plus a rookie in the year also. Um, there's no doubt that there's a place, regardless, win or loss, there's a place in the Hall of Fame. History will remember Dame Lillard, regardless what
Yeah.
happens, right?
And keep in mind, he's also top 75 list as well. Dame Lillard.
That is correct.
I
That is
thought it was
correct.
premature for him, though. I thought they should have waited to add him to the top 100. But hey,
Hmm.
I don't. I think other guys could have been on that
Hmm.
over Dame that had actually had a full career and retired.
And if we're going to talk about Dame's career, also, I think he has the 7 All-Stars, but he played in the tougher Western Conference. If Dame Lillard was in the Eastern Conference, I think he'd be an All-Star every year except maybe his rookie year.
Yeah, for sure. For
Mhm.
sure. There's lots of great guards in the Western Conference. That's why I remember Donovan and what's my oh my gosh. I see his
What,
face.
what team?
Dylan no, Devin Booker.
Devin
That's why
Booker,
they
right?
never got All Star. I remember the like they were doing well, but it's like you're up against Steph at Dame. You're not gonna
Hmm.
be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's so hard. Like there's so many great guards, and now Darren Fox is added to the list. A lot of great guards. Shea, like you mentioned, a lot of
Hmm.
great guards now. That it's like yeah, like a lot of talent in the West, but you know what I mean. I do want to big up Damian Lillard for always speaking up against this. He's been doing it since 2019 when he told Taylor Brooks a Bleacher Report about the whole super teams. Remember, that was the first thing he brought up with the super teams. Now about the ring culture, and I think it needs. I think what he's doing for him is going to help these future kids coming up, right?
Hmm.
Like it's okay to go on a team and not win right away. It's okay to build a culture, to build an identity with one team and figure it out. You know what I mean? I know we all joke on Houston, but they're rebuilding and they've been rebuilding since 2020, right? No, since when did James Harden wear that fat suit? Allegedly fat
Yeah,
suit.
I think that's 2 seasons ago. So
21,
2021.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
since then, like it's only been 2 years. We can't expect Houston like to recover. They had some good success in terms of
Hmm.
making a postseason appearance, but they had to like recant and cleanse themselves and rebuild. Like it's only been 2 years, so
Yeah.
they have another 3-4 years before they figure that situation out. Chicago, they've been kind of rebuilding. They've had some stars coming in and out, but have never really been settled and built around a player yet. That
Hmm.
hasn't happened. They just got a new GM a couple years ago. A lot of teams are in transition, but the ones who aren't um are the ones we know that are Milwaukee, Warriors. Like these teams have been around. Their players have been playing together for a minute now, right? And that's why people always favor them because of that history. I
Hmm.
think Denver's coming up in that they've been together for a while now. They've made it to Western Conference Finals. They're about to make a push, right? So a lot of teams, Philadelphia, they've built a culture, they've built a team around Embiid for years now. Like the teams who've had established players and identity, they're doing well. Like this, it's not a coincidence. The only new team I think has kind of surpassed and is growing is that Cleveland Cavaliers. That team just came together what in 21? No, 20 is it 20? No, actually 2019. When did the Brooklyn trade, right? That sent Jared Allen was guys over there. But Evan Mobley, I added to them last year. They're now creating that identity and they have an identity. So it takes time. It just takes
Hmm.
time. And I think fans like need to, I think players gotta remind fans like, hey, this doesn't happen overnight. This is a whole like almost a half a decade process.
Shout out to Giannis. Giannis had an opportunity in free agency to leave and explore and chase a ring, and he stuck it out in a small market such as Milwaukee. Much like Dame,
Yeah.
Portland is a very small market, also sticking it out. So I have a lot of respect for these guys who now Giannis is different because I guess Giannis already has the ring. So it kind
Yeah.
of changes the context of it. But when he resigned before his first championship, correct? Did he got
Yeah,
remember
so he was signed after the bubble year. That's when the rumors came out about where he's
right.
gonna go.
And then they got the
And
championship the
then they
following
won that
year.
chip that year. Yeah, the year
Right. Right.
after.
So I
But
mean,
yes, but see how your blessing could have been passed. You could have gone
right.
to a new team and they would have struggled because you're building a culture. Like it's hard to work with people and figure
Mhm.
out your groove. Like, you know what I mean? I think Middleton, Drew Holiday, Brooke, they have a great folks around them and they all believe in Giannis. Like Giannis is their leader. They all adore him. They believe in him. They're like, but you can tell when Giannis on the court, they're like, yes, that's our guy. Like he's gonna work hard. And I think he's given them a sense of consistency in his effort, good or
Mhm.
bad. Giannis always gives you 100%. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely a good team player.
So let's hope that if Dame is going to stay in Portland because I'm indifferent. I mean, if he leaves, salute. If he stays, salute. Uh, but they need the right pieces around him. We don't want to waste um, his good years there. They have a good upcoming core. They have Simons, but it does. See how you just went through the checklist of Milwaukee and building a championship. I just think the GM in Portland and the management period, they're trying, but I think they just got to do a little bit better. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I think they're trying to sell the team to the owners, so they're going through some reconstruction themselves. So,
Right.
but Dame
All right.
decided to stay there. Dame could have gone. They haven't chasing a ring. Could have gone to it. Sometimes I don't think every time when you go to a team is chasing a ring. I think you go to a team to be in a better situation.
Yeah.
Is that chasing a ring or not? Maybe, but you also want to be winning. So I do think Dame spent a bit too long in Portland. Not just saying because of chasing a ring. I just think that Portland, they're going through so much at the front office there. I just think Dame could have gone to a team that
Yeah.
wasn't put together. They could have gone to a team and situation where I think he would have had a better culture around it. And
Mhm.
and the culture that he's talking about, again, I'm not dismissing because he's right, but he's also in a culture right now in Portland where half wants to push for picking up pieces to win a championship and half wants to just rebuild. So they got to figure out their own situation there because I don't know what they're trying to do. It's kind of
Yeah.
confusing. Like,
They
are
did.
you trying to win a wing or are you trying to rebuild? You can't do that with Dame there. So something has to give, right? But
I
we'll
like the
see.
Chauncey move. Chauncey Billups, at least bringing him in. That getting a good coach is a good start, at least, right?
Yeah, but we know Dame wasn't happy with that hiring due to
Yeah.
Chauncey's past. So
Well, that's when
hopefully
it
it doesn't
started. I
change.
don't know how
Yeah.
they are now. Is he still
Yeah,
unhappy
true.
or?
I have no
Yeah,
clue.
we don't know.
I
Right.
don't know. You know me.
Well,
I'm not in line
yeah.
with the gossip, but I hope they figured it out by now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to give Dame his flowers in this topic because, like I said, it's rare that you have someone who's just moving to the beat of his own drum. So shout out to Dame Lillard. So Nelly J, at this point, you want to go to for the culture?
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight another win for women in Women History Month. Sabrina Ionescu. As you guys know, the New York Liberty has a super team. If you don't know, now you know. We mentioned it in a couple of our shout outs a few episodes ago. But Nike basketball's newest signature athlete is Sabrina Ionescu. Woo! And she's launching her Sabrina One will be available summer of 2023. As we know, Nike and the Jordan brand have been adding WNBA players to their roster, Faheem, and it's just great to see, right? To get a signature shoe, just so you know, the highly exclusive group of powerful athletes that have signature shoes for Nike. She's joining folks like Serena Williams, Megan Rapinoe, Naomi Osaka, Della Dawn, which everyone knows, and Ionescu, the first woman athlete to deliver a full of unisex collection with insight from both female and male athletes. So her shoe is not just for women, it's for both. Or it says unisex. So that's really dope. What's your thoughts on this great step for Sabrina? And again, she doesn't want a ring yet, you know what I'm saying? But she still got her own shoe. Go ahead, Fahim.
First of all, shout out to Sabrina Ionescu. So she happens, as you know, I don't really follow the WNBA or watch. The few times I have watched, she was the one that had me open to watch. I really like her game. But I have to say, she has three different colorways of her shoes.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that they're unisex because I seen one of them is the black and white. If anyone hasn't seen, just Google her name and shoes. You'll see it. The Zoom Airs, it looks like. There's one in particular. It's predominantly white with a black trim outline of the Nike swoosh and a little black trim on it. If I seen that and didn't know anything, I would look at those shoes. And for me personally, I'd say, whoa, those are nice.
Yes.
I would rock those. So what I do like, and maybe we should go here with this because I do have a question. With how popular do you think uh, this shoe would be amongst men? I know I'm a man asking you this, but I'm a
It's
man.
gonna
I'm
sell
looking
out,
at,
man.
you
Faheem,
think?
once
Hmm.
this drops, it's going to sell. First of all, we all know how New Yorkers support basketball, right? They
Hmm.
have one probably the biggest basketball fan bases in New York. They got two teams, and the most valued franchise in the NBA is in New York. The New York Liberty, when her jersey dropped, when she was in her rookie, before she even played a game, is sold out within like a couple of days. Yeah,
I
these
would
are
be
going to sell
interested to
out.
know how much men are rocking her jersey, though. I
Well,
know you
I
wouldn't
mean,
know
I'm
that,
I'm
but
not in New York every day. New Yorker
no, no,
does
no.
know, but
But as
but
mhm,
but I don't think, to be honest, I don't think I see a lot of men rocking WNBA. I've seen a couple
mhm.
of them, players walking with like the classic Lisa Leslie jersey and different
Or I more
jerseys.
see the orange hoodie and
Yeah, the
WNBA
WNBA
hoodie and
hoodie.
support. I see that amongst men.
Yeah,
Yes. Hmm.
but in terms of, remember, she's only in her second, going to her third year in the WNBA. Her first year she got injured, right? She had
Right.
11-point average. Her last year was her breakout year, 2022, where she averaged like 17, 6, and 7. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and now she's joining like superstars. Like she has stars on her team now. But to your point, I think these shoes are dope. I'm actually like, I don't really buy Nike shoes like that, but I'm actually gonna buy these. I like how
Hmm.
the swoop is different. It's not like in a typical spot. The ones for him that are like the blue bottoms, and like the Nikes kind of like vertical kind of. That looks
Hmm.
dope. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? On the one
It's
side,
clean, very
it's
clean.
clean, man. So
And
yeah, her sneakers look really like these are kind of sneakers that I like. Just clean, classic
mhm,
Nike shoe. And apparently they're also having really nice cushion. I love comfort in my foot, but
nice.
these look dope.
Yep,
These look
most
freaking
stuff.
dope.
And
Yeah.
when I ask about the men, I'm not saying that she even needs men
Yeah.
to buy her shoes. I just
How
think
much money they would
it's an
rock
added
it?
bonus just to expand your
Yeah.
market, you know?
Honestly, I think some men will rock these shoes because they look
Hmm.
nice. Like,
Yes.
because sneakerheads is like sneakers that look nice. You know what I'm saying? That could
Yeah.
also add value. I think if I'm a sneaker collector, and there's quite a few of them, I would I would buy her first shoe because I really think her career is on the trajectory. I really think
Oh,
so.
for
I
sure.
think her value is gonna grow in like 10 years. So you have her first shoe? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As a collector, I
Hmm.
think you want these. So I think collectors will buy these, men or women, and I think these will sell out really quickly, to be honest. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, so shout out to Sabrina. But these, I'm just looking here. I'm just looking at the colorways of them. Very nice shoe.
very nice.
If you haven't had a chance, check them out. I think it's great. There. So the women you mentioned before, how many women before have a signature shoe with Nike?
Um, with Nike, that's more of an exclusive list, right?
Oh,
So,
okay.
um, but
Oh,
in terms
I think
of,
I have it here. So, Brandon
mhm,
Stewart looks like she has one.
yes, I know she
Um,
has one. Yeah, I know
Alina
Ella Dawn has
Deladon,
one.
right?
Sorry,
So there's two.
yeah, Della Dawn. I know she got one. For sure. You're talking about just are you talking just about the just WNBA players that have signature shoes?
Oh,
Cheryl
Cheryl
Swoops had the
Swoops.
first one.
Yes,
Yeah,
back in the day, the originator. No,
she's the
Steph.
original signature
Yep.
shoe
Hmm.
ever. So
Hmm.
big up to her for that type of historical win.
Hmm.
Um, but
And
and of
there's a
course,
W
our favorite coach, Cynthia Cooper had one. Lisa Leslie had one. Our favorite, what do you call it? Don Staley.
Stanley,
Uh,
right?
yeah. So
Hmm.
but
I also
but
see
but
the
only nine. So the only nine that was reported as of, what year was this? Only nine that was reported as of 2021, and then we're gonna add Sabrina to that
mm.
list.
Apparently there's a official WNBA signature model. The original was back in 2006 by Diana Taurasi. So yeah, I mean, Sabrina, she's on the way up, even from a marketing standpoint. She seems to be the new face of the league. If I can get just an equivalent of the young ones, would you
Mm,
say like how would you put it in
yeah, I will
in
say I don't think Sabrina is a. I think Sabrina is in a big market. I
Mhm.
won't say she's. I think she's a new face in the league, but I think
Mhm.
the WNBA has a lot of stars that are a bit more like well
Yeah,
like
established and well
I
known.
think
I get that.
I think
Mhm.
until like Candace Parker retires, I think she will always be a big face. This is a league for him that has many faces and many stars. But we got Asia Wilson, a huge face for she's a deep point and an MVP. She's won that before. But, you know,
Mhm.
Brianna Stewart. There's a lot of faces, man. A lot of good players.
Nice, nice, nice.
Of course,
All right,
Diana
well,
Taurasi is still in the league too, so she's also top five.
shout out to Sabrina.
Yeah.
While we close out this episode with That's Absurd.
That's absurd for him, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
Canada, stand up. Welcome the newest, most interesting, and quite possibly absurd league, the PFL.
Whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, Fahim, there's the PFL that Canada started, but now there's a new league, the PFC, the Pillow Fighting Championship League.
The PFC, Pillow Fighting Champion.
Championship League. Yes. So the Pillow Fight League, that was Toronto based. It was semi-professional and they would have pillow fights that was hosted in fighting arenas. Much like a boxing or wrestling match. That was the original and that I think that started back in like it's saying
2000 and early
early
2000s, right?
2000s. Yeah,
Okay.
early 2000s. And as we know, the league was founded much like a, you know, wrestling match. And the league was founded, the commissioner was Stacey P. Case and honorary PFL commissioner Craig Daniels in
Mhm.
February 2004. So
And
it was launched in Toronto downtown. They hosted in Quebec, New York City. So this was like revolutionary. So they're the original pillow fighter, you know, creators. But now we have a new pillow fighting championship league that folks I think it just aired recently. So folks are not talking about it. Yeah. Absurd.
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 I,
Um
I got, I got, okay. I got a few questions, first of all.
yeah.
So with the PFL, the original one in 2004, that lasted for a few seasons, I think two
I
seasons
think
and failed.
3 4 years it lasted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
There was,
PFC just started in the fall of 2022.
right,
Yeah,
which is absurd to bring it
that
back.
yeah, and
Kind of
that's
absurd to
founded
have it in the
by
first
a
place.
Florida by this guy in Florida. I think his name is William. Actually, so he has a background in MMA fighting, I believe.
Okay.
But his name is what's his name? William. Yeah, his name is Steve Williams.
Okay.
So he founded the
So,
Pillow Fighting Championship League. They want to be on the same level as the UFC. So
mhm.
they're trying to have like their own type of but he has a background or he says he has a background in mixed martial arts.
Okay. So in the original one, the PFL in 2000, early 2000s, there was concussions, black eyes, lost teeth, split lips,
Wow.
torn muscles, and bruised kidneys
From pillow fighting.
Wow.
from
Damn.
pillow fighting. Absurd. You bring it back.
Absurd.
How are you? Go
So it's
ahead.
pretty aggressive. And even he was saying, Steve Williams, he was stated that he's bringing in like the thing about pillow fighting is that you can be any age, gender, size, athleticism because you're hitting pillows, but the matches are based off of skill set and based off of like, of course, size, right? So he has like MMA fighters fighting in in the pillow fighting championship in the
So,
PFC.
like in boxing or MMA, where they have weight classes, they have weight classes for
Pretty
pillow
much,
fights.
yeah. Well, I don't think they have
Except,
belts yet. I don't think they're good enough or have belts. I don't think they have belts yet. So early, but yeah,
is it co-ed, Nelly
the
J?
matches are based off of that. They even have like they have like boxers. They have single moms, veterinarians. They have mechanics. Pretty much all sizes. TV stars can do pillow fighting. So I guess
Is it
because you're not
co-ed,
punching
Nelly
someone's
J? That's
face
what I need
or
to know. I need to
whatever,
know, is this co-ed?
No. It's always you fight girl, girl, or guy, guy. There's
Okay.
no girl versus guy. Oh
Okay.
man,
Well,
I don't think. I mean, you could do a father versus a mother if if they can bench the same weight. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'm putting it out there, but it's to the point where people think, and some enthusiasts do believe they'll be the next biggest thing, like PFC. The way Williams is trying to frame it, he's trying to make it become the next UFC with the PFC, right? Hence the similar names, him recruiting MMA fighters. And I think they said they had a knockout. Someone got knocked out, the TKO
of
fight
course.
with pillows.
Yeah. So I don't know how to say this. So with boxing, you have gloves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boxing gloves, they're padded somewhat, and you're taking blows to the head. I don't know what makes someone think that this is going to be any less combat if you have someone swinging a pillow. I don't care how many, uh, you know, feathers are in there. It's going to rattle you. You know,
It's hitting your
I just
head.
want it's in your
Boom,
head.
boom, boom.
So for the first time, it's going to be free of charge on fight.tv. It's a direct to consumer streaming platform for combat sports. So they have a platform, a legitimate platform. It's just interesting. Do you see this being anything close to? We mentioned there's a slap league. We talked about that a few episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think lasts longer, the slap league or the pillow fighting league?
Man, I think to be honest, and big up to the Mr. Williams for starting this league. He hasn't made any money from it for him. This is like, he's just hoping that it just, catches a fire, right? So it's talking about it, kind of helping him catch a fire as well. Um, but will people actually pay money to watch people fight with pillows? Will I pay money to watch people? I think because humans are so barbaric, the slapping league, I don't think is going anywhere. Only because UFC founder, he has a following, he has a base. I think he can grow his league a lot better and faster because of, the fact that he does have that following, right? When it comes to the pillow fighting league, I think depending on if they can get celebrities to do this crap. Sorry, I mean fight with pillows. Um, so if they get like any like, for example, and I think to be honest, if I was this person, I would say what celebrities are having a fight on Twitter. You know what? Y'all come and get some pillows, figure this out in the ring, right? Like I think this is a really good happy medium for comedic relief.
But that's the thing. I think uh, it sounds more lighthearted than it actually is. You're right. It should be, hey, come out and swing at some pillows, like family, brothers and sisters on the bed before bedtime, and swinging at pillows. It's not quite that. Like
Yes.
you could really have serious injuries with this, and if it's not marketed and positioned properly, and I'm speaking as a parent, you could have kids thinking, hey, well, they have a league on this, it's okay. And imagine two brothers just randomly just saying, let's grab some pillows and hit each other. You could,
Yeah.
it could be a lot worse
It could
than you
be. I
want.
would say this. I mean, we've all had pillow fights with siblings. I just think the pillows that they use for him in this league is a bit different.
Okay.
So that's why the people are getting injured. They're not using like regular, from the Bay
Oh, okay.
or pillow. They're using like these pillows are unique to the league. I forgot what
So that,
it's
I mean, what do you think? I would assume they're probably heavier then, right? If people are getting,
yeah. So what's in the pillows? They say the they're using it's designed out of rip stop nylon and it has 6 straps. It gives you more control of the total pillow. You swing it around, and it's designed for fighting. So it's not like your home pillow. And this is quoted from the CBC article
Mhm.
that they asked. So my bad, yeah, CBC article Q&A that they had with the founder. He
Mhm.
said it's designed for fighting. It's not your home pillow where you just sort of grab onto the excess material. So they can swing better because they have this type of strap on it. And I think
So they
even the
get more torque
material,
behind it, which means that's going to hit
yeah,
you
so there's more
harder.
swing. Whereas you're holding the pillow with 2 hands, you can swing it,
Right.
but you don't
Yeah.
have a strap. But to your
Right. I
point,
got you.
someone sews in a strap, like you mentioned, to become. But even I think the pillows are even like heavier. They have like a heavier material inside of it, and like from look at what I see, they look pretty big. Like they look bigger than but they're like queen size pillows and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit different. But you're correct. Like to your point though, if it gets too big, people can be putting stuff in other people's pillows. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'll pay you some money, put this in my pillow. People put stuff in a boxing gloves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So to your point, it can get dangerous. Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember growing up, I had a younger brother. We used to watch wrestling, and there was the Iron Sheik and the camel clutch.
Every freaking sibling.
Shout out to my younger brothers. Put them in a camel clutch or the figure 4 leg lock, things like that. Man, I'm just hoping that this it'd be interesting to see if it catches on.
I'll be I'm again, he didn't make any money from it. It just started, but I do think the slap league has an advantage because it's Dana White. That's all.
Yeah,
and he has the marketing, the investors. He has more ears. This guy's starting it by himself, but let's see. I know it was they posted it on Sports Center on Instagram. That's where I first saw it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. There were a lot of comments, a lot of like pillow fighting, right? Yeah, but people like blood, people like aggression. So I mean, I think this league will be for those who aren't. I think this is a niche market. If you like fighting, if you like people combating, but not into the bloodiness of the UFC, this is a good alternative where you'd want to see, pillow fighting. Will I take my Saturday night to watch a pillow fighting tournament? No. But if they're celebrities, maybe I think this is more. I think instead of celebrities boxing, maybe they should go into this realm, pillow fighting.
Right. Yeah, I think it's definitely between slap league and boxing or bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
But like I was mentioning before, they tried it before in early 2000s, and people are getting black eyes and losing teeth, and bruising kidneys. So I mean, like I was saying, the name might be a little misleading. Pillow fight sounds very family friendly. But I don't see very much. I don't see anything family friendly about having your kidney bruised or losing teeth in a pillow fight.
Especially if I putting stuff in the pillows, man. We talking about, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
But I'll say this: the clips have gone viral. This past, so I'm curious to see how what happens next with this pillow fighting. But wow!
Shout out. We will keep our ear to that.
Yes,
most definitely. All right. Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
Yes, that was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time and you enjoyed yourself. Before we end the episode, though, we got to go to this shout out to Faheem. Shout out. So, I mean, it was great. First of all, big up to Matthew, our last episode. Dropped a lot of gems. A team we mentioned, Faheem, that could be a dark horse. Big up to Coach Smooth for bringing it to my attention. And then Matthew Maurer backed it. Florida Atlantic in the Final Four. Wow, I don't think anyone saw that coming. A 9th seed making it there for him.
Yeah.
And on the men's side, there's no number ones in the Final Four. No, not one. So this is interesting. I'm curious to see what everyone's predictions are this week coming up. But even on the women's side, no brackets were perfect. Quite a few upsets. So yeah, I'm just loving March Madness on both men and women have both been very exciting and unpredictable. So I just want to big up Florida Atlantic and all the underdogs, you know what I'm saying? Like making stories, making history. And big up to Ryan Nemhard too. That's Andrew Nemhard's brother. He plays for Creighton, had some great moments in the tournament. Let's see what he does in terms of his career, if he's going to go to the draft or not. But big up to Ryan Nemhard as well, Canadian boy, making a big name in the tournament.
Nice. My shout out, since this is, I think, the fourth and last. This is our last Women's History Month episode. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I want to make my shout out to you, Nelly J.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You're a woman who's making history every month. So you don't stop in March. You go every single month. I want to definitely highlight you just for the work that you put in. I think you're the hardest working woman in podcasting.
And the hottest, you're the hottest too. Thank you.
Definitely. I just think that you put in a lot of work, and I may be a little biased with this because I work, maybe because I have a little bit more intel on it because I work with you a lot more, but I don't think anyone's doing it on your level. So I definitely want to shout you out for this Women's History Month. And yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, brother.
All right. So let's go ahead and put this episode in the books.
That's a good rookie show, y'all. You had a good time. You enjoyed yourself. Like, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell three friends. Tree, not 1, 2, but tree. Go ahead, Faheem.
We're on all platforms if you're looking for us. You know what it is. That's a good rookie show, and we out.
Peace.